Hi, this is Doug Jones, and you're listening to The Stuff That Fascinates Us podcast. Shut up. Okay, wait. Let's do that again. Take two. What are you?
I'm Groot.
Oh! Great Odin's Raven!
Bite my shiny metal ass.
Why the fuck would you do a thing like that?
Hey everybody, and welcome to what is the brand new debut of the Stuff That Fascinates Us podcast. This isn't the number one thing, you could say. This is what we would actually term the 0.5.
Yeah, just a bit of a test run.
Yeah, I am on the page. We have a Facebook page, as you know. That's how you found this. I am Westmurph. Okay, my actual name is Steve.
And on the page, I'm Norman, and AKA Norman. Easy.
And my name is Cam, otherwise known as Sai on the page.
And if that didn't drop your underwear, I don't know what will.
Dad voice.
So what we've got here today is, a little while back I used to do a couple of interviews here and there. And we decided to catch up with a friend. And what we've got for you today is Norman and I decided to catch up with Doug Jones. You might remember Doug from what movies, guys?
Hocus Pocus. Fantastic Four 2. He was a Silver Surfer.
What was that?
Pan's Labyrinth.
Definitely Hellboy.
Yep, he played
Hellboy.
As Abe Sapien.
Abe Sapien. Yep.
Yep.
He was Fawn and that. What was that creature at the table in Pan's Labyrinth?
The Perlman.
The Perlman and Fawn. Yep.
Yep, and a lot of people might recognize him these days as well from TNT's Falling Skies. He plays Cochise, the alien. Here we go, and enjoy. So, how have you been anyway, Doug?
Oh, good, happy. I might have told you I'm in Vancouver now. Well, temporarily, for my third year.
Falling Skies.
For Falling Skies. Yeah, I've been up here for 5 months since in 2012, 2013, 2014. So.
Wow, I've been following you on that. I absolutely love your character on that.
Oh, thank you a bunch.
So how much is it makeup and how much is it just you screwing up your face?
No, it's all. I'm completely covered in I screw up my face anyway. I think I did that when I was born, but no, my the makeup team does me completely up as Cochise the alien, and then in post production I do. They put on the visual after effects with VFX. So it's computer graphics that make the eyes blink and move around, and some eyebrow movement. They also enhance the facial movement around my mouth because my lips are just thick enough in the mask that even glued to my own mouth, they don't form the words visually as well as. I'm acting my ass off in there, and the mask doesn't respond as much as you would want it to. So the visual effects team they add a little bit of enhancement to that. Thank heaven, and that's the Todd Masters group, the Todd Masters Effects. They're the ones who do the practical effects makeup on me, and they also have the visual effects department that does the after the post production as well. So it's all under one roof.
Wow, that's awesome.
So how do you find in Vancouver?
I love it up here. It's it's nice. Canadians are nice people, and if you're going to do Canada, the west coast here along the Pacific Ocean is the warmest you're going to be. Yep. So it's we don't have snow here. They do get snow, but it doesn't stay long, and it's a little bit warmer. So it's kind of like the weather in Seattle if you've ever been there, or just that gray, rainy all the time, a little chilly, but not going to kill you. Okay, I'm going to lean into the microphone here. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah, that's doing it for us.
Stop touching yourselves.
You just got told not to touch yourself by the fawn, Norm.
Oh, damn it.
Exactly.
The first question, Doug, with Falling Skies, how has it been? You work your work has generally been solid. You're one of the busiest working actors in Hollywood, without a doubt. How's it been?
Thank you.
Yeah, and you are. I think you once said that you are one of the most famous actors that you've never seen.
Well, did I say that myself? I'm not supposed to tell you that I'm famous. Gee, how ungracious is that? Yeah.
But
well, yeah. That's my goal in life. My goal in life is to be the most famous person you've never seen. How about that?
But how's it been with Falling Skies the last 3 years now? Because you're in your third year now.
I'm in my third year, right? It's the show's fifth season, right? But
how's it been playing Cochise?
No, yeah, it's been a kind of a dream come true. It's my first foray into series regular television work. I've guest starred on many shows over the years, but usually sandwiched in between my feature films. So this commitment for for the final 3 seasons of Falling Skies has been, an undertaking unlike anything I've done before. It's a very long-running commitment, and you get to know your character very well over those years. So Cochise is I'm the leader of the Volm aliens, and we've come to Earth to help the humans fight back the bad Ashfeni aliens who have taken over Earth. For those who don't follow the show, there's your setup. I've very much enjoyed getting to know Cochise, and like many of the costumed, heavily obscured face characters I've played, I kind of have to make up their folklore and backstory. The writers do that for me, of course, but as far as how you play this character, how does he walk? How does he talk? How does he go through? What's his emotional palette? Those are things that I do have to make up as we go, because I can't go to the Volm alien nursing home and interview anybody who's been through this before. So I'm kind of on my own here with the writers. And the makeup team helps an awful lot too. The Masters Effects team has been really great with their design work that kind of helps inform a performance. So so I very much I just love the whole process, and it is nice to play a good guy. When you have a career like mine under much heavy makeup, you're often asked to play evil characters or demonic characters, or the character that drags children off into the woods and eats them, or whatever. But then you do get those. I've been very blessed to play a lot of good guys. The Silver Surfer turns out to be a good guy. Abe Sapien from the Hellboy movies, of course, is a good guy.
Yep.
Even Billy Butcherson from Hocus Pocus, that Halloween classic movie. I start out being kind of scary, but then turns out I'm a champion for the kids by the end. So it is nice when a heavily made up character can be a good guy and help the humans in the story. So Cochise has been all of that for me, and the friendship bonded with Tom Mason, played by Noah Wiley, has that's kind of how you got to know me. And this season 5 that we're filming now, the final season, you'll see. We are indeed. It is our final season. We found that out going into it when we were told by our TNT network in the States that we were renewed for another season. With that good news came, this is also the final season.
Oh.
So, but the luxury that afforded us, though, is that the writers can now bring us to a conclusion instead of just being canceled in the middle of the story, right?
Yeah.
So that's doing the fans a favor, so we know when the end is, so they can write the end.
Yeah, that's true. That is.
So with this season, you'll see Cochise, my character, getting to know the other second mask team a little bit more too. Like I have more interaction with Ann Mason and with a nice little storyline with Sarah Carter, who plays Maggie on the show, and then of course Trevor Etienne, who plays Dingan. I have a lot of interaction with him, and Will Patton, of course, as Colonel Weaver. So I diversify a little bit more this year. The writers have written storylines for me that go just beyond Tom Mason now. So it's been great. It's been great.
They did tend to be very Mason central, didn't they?
Yeah, which I didn't hate, because Noah Wiley is a dream to work with. He really is.
I've liked the guy ever since he was on ER. I thought he was fantastic.
Right.
Now you mentioned Hocus Pocus earlier. I did fill in Norm on the story of the moth in the mouth.
Oh yes, right.
And I do want to ask, what does moth taste like? Because that has been very uncomfortable for you.
Well, now you make it sound like I was actually chewing on dusty moths, right? Between takes, I ate my co-stars. No, actually, I never did find out what they tasted like because I had a latex sheath in my mouth that was protecting me from them and them from me as well, because moths have to stay very dry or they won't fly.
Yep. Ah,
So
right.
that's part of that, right? So my mouth was tasteless. Well, it normally is anyway. But I had a retainer on my upper and lower teeth that were holding like a latex sheath that protected them from the moisture in my mouth. Yep. And then I also had a cup built into the roof of my mouth. In the hollow of the roof of my mouth was this little fiberglass cup that had air holes at the back end of it, my throat end, so I could blow through it and kick out all the dust that was sitting there. So it was purified dust called Fuller's Earth that they use. That's a little movie trick. So when I cut my mouth open for the first time in the movie and go, blah, 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 and then these moths come flying out and dust goes flying, that was all for real. That was not CG.
Okay, yep.
So yeah. So they had a moth trainer that had put three moths into my mouth with little clipper tweezer things, and he would catch them between takes in a net and put them back in my mouth. So yeah, it was quite a setup.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Thank you.
Well, you had Bette Midler I think it was the end of last year. She was mentioning she'd like to go back and do Hocus Pocus too. You got a lot of actors doing sequels to older movies. If they did go back and do a part 2, would you be open to going back and playing?
More than open. I would love to go back, especially if everybody comes back together. There's been talk of a Hocus Pocus 2 for a few years now, actually. Tony Gardner, who's the head of the Alterian Studios, that's the creature effects shop that fashioned my Billy Butcherson zombie makeup for the movie. Yep. He was a part of the presentation with I'm going to get the name wrong. Our head writer for Hocus Pocus, producer David. Yeah. Anyway. It's right at the tip of my tongue. He's a sweetheart of a guy. David Kirshner.
Oh yeah, yep.
They did a pitch to the Disney studio for Hocus Pocus Part 2, and so I heard about that a couple years ago, and I think the pitch they put forward was Hocus Pocus 20 years later, so that the three original witches were not a part of the story, but it was more about the kids having grown up and now they've got kids of their own or something. But that was kind of under the assumption that Bette and Sarah and Kathy and Jimmy may not be interested in coming back. But to find out they're all very interested in coming back to reprise it. So so the original pitch was involving me. I was the one character that could be revived, and I would look exactly the same 20 years later because it was a glued on makeup. It doesn't matter how much I've aged underneath it. I can still wear it and look exactly like Billy again. So that's a great advantage. So not sure what a storyline would be now if they involve everybody, which I would really love for that to happen. The support and the Twitter activity and what happens every October when it's Halloween season is just mind-boggling. How popular that movie has. It gets more popular every year. Kind of like The Wizard of Oz. It's an annual television event that the family sits down for. So that's rare anymore.
So slightly left of that, if there was a character that you could reprise of the ones you've done so far, which would you love to do again?
Oh, I would love to reprise Abe Sapien. I think we owe the fans a Hellboy 3, but that's not up to me. We all, again, the entire cast: Ron Perlman, Selma Blair, Jeffrey Tambor, myself, and our director Guillermo del Toro. We'd all love to do it. But I'm not a spokesman for that franchise. I don't have any inside scoop at all. I just hear what I hear via the grapevine, like you do. And so what we've been hearing in the on all the Webernet chat out there about Hellboy 3 has been, that the budget might be bigger than the studio wants to pay, and so that seems to be what money would always be a holdup, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah.
So there's that, and there's no other director I would want handling it than Guillermo del Toro, and he's got more projects on his plate than he can do by the time he dies. So I don't know how it would be worked in anyhow.
Yeah, well, I'm still waiting for his in the Mountains of Madness, and
yeah, you and me both.
yeah.
Sorry, Doug. Yeah.
I was going to say I was told wink wink nudge nudge that he had something for me in that when it was in pre-production
fantastic.
before, but who knows?
I've got to ask. Last year, Sons of Anarchy season 6. Did your brothers ring you up or look at you strangely with the role that you had in that?
Okay, now for those who aren't aware, your listeners, we need to say the Hellboy reunion you were hoping for is not what I did on Sons of Anarchy.
I did a fantastic role.
Oh, it was a little cameo I did in season 6. Ron Perlman's character was in prison, and his now estranged wife on the show, played by Katie Seagal, came in for a conjugal visit to get some information out of him. And conjugal visits are the only kind you can do that aren't recorded. Yep. So that's why the Sons of Anarchy needed her to do that. So it was awkward for her because they hadn't been intimate in a long time, and so it was like, ooh. So, and she was actually having an affair with somebody else by that time, and yada yada. So this was all kind of an emotional time for them to see each other and to get information. So only minutes went by, and knock knock knock. She's in there saying, "Okay, we're done in here." And the prison guards answer the door and come in to the cell with them and say, "Oh, no, you're not done. This is a conjugal visit, and you're going to conjugate, and we're going to watch." So, oh my gosh. So what ensued from there was just television madness. This other prison guard and I, Patrick Brennan was his name, and he's actually the son of Eileen Brennan, the Oscar-nominated, Oscar-winning, or nominated anyway, actress Eileen Brennan, who passed away last year sometime. So Patrick and I are the ones coming in with dressed up as prison guards, right? And giving them these new instructions. You're going to do some sexy things, and we're going to watch. And we end up giving them instructions like. They finally consent because we're going to bust his kneecaps if they don't. And, oh, goodness, it was just ugly. So we loosen up our gun belts and lay our batons down and undo the pants. We're both sitting in the cell with our hands on our own pants, coaching them. Okay, now undo his shirt. Yeah. Show us her tits. Yeah. That was my line, by the way. I got to say that. Oh, my word.
So how was the atmosphere between you and Ron?
Well, that's the funny thing is that Ronnie, we were just laughing about it. Between takes, you have to shoot this multiple times from different angles and different camera setups. So we went through this several times that day, and at one point, between every take, Patrick Brennan and I are zipping up our pants and putting our gun belts back on. Mm-hmm. Katie Seagal and Ron Perlman are buttoning their shirts back up again. It was just just the humiliation of it all. And at one point, Ron and I caught each other's eyes, and he shakes his head back and forth, and he says, "What? And leave show business?" So I just love him, and yeah, we laughed our way through it. But my goodness, yeah. By the end of the day, I still, because of all the portals you can see television in now, the entire world did not see Sons of Anarchy when it aired. It's been a trickle effect ever since then. People are binge watching season 6 now, and they're watching it on Netflix and Hulu, and video on demand here and there, or the DVD box set. And so I get messages almost every other day, I would say, of, "Hey, Doug, did I see you on Sons of Anarchy with Ron Perlman? Oh my gosh, was that you?" Yeah. So, so that's been my answer all along: is yes, I'm sorry, it was not the Hellboy 2. It was not the Hellboy reading you were hoping for.
Yeah, I actually wanted to know, like, because, you're a singer, a songwriter, actor, contortionist, mime, dancer, you've been in music videos, and apparently you're even a barber. So I wanted to know, is there anything...
Shut up.
Yes, I have, and I was just wondering if there was anything that you wanted to do that you haven't actually done yet.
My bucket list has things on it like you mentioned a barber. I cut my own hair. I cut friends' hair. I've cut Mrs. Laurie's hair. I used to cut my mom's hair and her mom's hair when they were alive. I've never been licensed. So on my bucket list is I would like to go through the certification to be a licensed barber in the state of California. That's one thing. Another thing is I would love to be certified as a nursing assistant, just at the lowest level of have a piece of paper saying that I am qualified to do some kind of patient care. I know if I wasn't an actor, I would have gone full blown into the medical field somewhere, whether it would be a nurse or something. The hands-on healing arts are something that interests me. I just like that vibe.
I just have this vision of you walking in the fawn makeup or something in a nurse's outfit.
Right. No, I said if I wasn't an actor, you see.
My wife is a nurse in aged care, and she absolutely loves it. She finds it very satisfying. So
well, there you go. That, and I also, but as far as creatively, yes, I have had an idea for a book to write a novel. It's loosely based on my own life, so it would be not an autobiography, but inspired by, for sure. About a creature effects actor who tries to find his way. I got through, let's see, I've written chapter 1 so far, and I have a heck of a lot more to go, and I can't seem to motivate myself, so that's also on my bucket list. And you mentioned singing. I would love to record a CD. I don't have delusions of grandeur, like I'm going to sell the damn thing, but I would love. I don't know if anybody would want to buy it, but I would love to record a CD so that I can just go through the studio sessions and actually put songs together and sing them. That would be satisfying somehow. And also on the singing front, another bucket list thing. I would love to do a Broadway stage play at some point, which I've done stage back in my early days, but never never the big paid kind on Broadway. And I think the dream role would be perhaps to play Jack Skellington in a Broadway production of A Nightmare Before Christmas, if there ever is such a thing.
I could definitely see you doing that.
Oh, and another dream role I've wanted to play on film. I'm going to get to do actually. My answer for many years has been I would love to play a vampire. I've never played a gothic classic vampire. And so I've often said that I would love to do a revival of Nosferatu and perhaps even film it in black and white. Well, sure enough now, my director friend David Lee Fisher has approached me about doing a remix, he's calling it, of Nosferatu. That means taking the 1922 film and capturing some backdrops from it and then filming us in front of green screen and plopping us into the original film.
Cool. That's how we met, remember?
And we might have met over the cabin of Dr. Caligari with this same exact process, right? And that was same director, David Lee Fisher. So he and I have done this together before, so I know it's a proven method, and it was actually met with much critical acclaim. We won festivals, and we also picked up the best DVD release of the year at the Saturn Awards that year. So. To do this as Nosferatu, to play Count Orlok, that very famous first vampire on film ever, and to walk in Max Schreck's very big shoes, it's an honor for me that it's daunting, and I'm terrified that I'm going to let I'm going to ruin his legacy and make all fans of his and the original movie hate my guts. But so that's the risk we're running. But I'm hoping that people will be gentle and kind and understand the ride that we're trying to create here. So.
Well, the original one, the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, was fantastic with how they did it. So I've no doubt that Nosferatu will turn out great as well if they're following the same process.
We did a successful Kickstarter campaign, and so we'll be filming sometime May-ish, June-ish of this year.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah, very awesome.
Well, my last question to you would be, and I understand you're probably under NDAs and everything. You're in Crimson Peak, the new Del Toro film.
I am, yes. And you want to know what I do?
Yeah. Oh no, we want spoilers beginning to end.
Sure.
Just fax us over send us, email us over the script. That's
right. It's got my name plastered on my copy of it, so they'll know where it came from.
No, we'll just put Doug J. Jones. I'm sure they'll just never.
Right? Yeah, it's a common name, easy name. Crimson Peak. Yes, for those who don't know, it's Guillermo del Toro's next feature film that's going to be coming out in theaters here in the States anyway. In October of this coming fall. We filmed it last year, and so he's in post-production now. It's going to be laden with visual effects afterwards. It's a haunted house story starring the lovely Mia Wasikowska as the centerpiece of the story. She was the young lady who played Alice in Wonderland. And co-starring with her are Tom Hiddleston, of course, Loki from Thor, and Charlie Hunnam, who was, of course, Sons of Anarchy as well, and the lovely Jessica Chastain, who you might know from The Help or from the Mama movie. So it's a stellar cast, and
it is.
In this, Javier Botet, who also played the Mama ghost in Mama, he and I both together played 5 characters. And so, knowing that I was going to be doing a lot of press for Falling Skies after I filmed my bits of Crimson Peak, I asked Guillermo del Toro myself, okay, I'm going to be doing a lot of press. People are going to ask about Crimson Peak. What can I tell them I did? So he said,
Well, okay, dog. Tell them that it's a haunted house story, and what the F do they think you played?
so there's the answer I can give you for now.
No, we're still there. I thought we were.
I'm still here.
I just thought it had dropped out. Then it's like, oh no!
But was that a commercial break?
So that's about the answer you can give us for now.
Yes. That's what I ended with. Did you hear me say that? I didn't know if I dropped out or not. Yeah, yes, that is the answer I can give you for now.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I figured that you'd be under limited range of anything that you could say, but clarifying, there's a lot of mystery as to what Crimson Peak is.
Right.
There's a lot of.
Well, there is a large haunted mansion type house at the centerpiece of the film, and it's much like a character it's probably the starring character of the movie, really. Even with that stellar cast, the house itself is incredible. So it is a good old fashioned scary haunted house story, but the ghosts, what the house is haunted by is and why they're there and what message they're trying to get across. That's what he's keeping under wraps for now.
Oh, absolutely.
And what they look like and all that. So
fair enough. Yeah.
There you go. But it's a story. Del Toro is just a master of filmmaking, and he pays such attention to every detail of his films. So every visual, every set piece, every prop, every word of dialogue has a reason and a purpose, and it will satisfy the artist in all of us. So I can promise you a fun ride when it comes out.
I really look forward to it. We were saying yesterday, actually, that of all the movies that are coming out in the next few years, we would actually really love to see you somehow get into one of the Star Wars films.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you and me both. But the one coveted role that I would want to play, of course, is Anthony Daniels is still doing. So that's
fair enough. All right, Doug. Well, we've kept you long enough. Thank you very much for your time.
Yes, it's appreciated.
Well, thank you for finding me a worthy subject.
You're an amazing person always, Doug.
Oh, you're the ones. So it's nice to talk to you again, Steve, and Norm. Very nice to meet you.
You too, Doug. Thank you for your time. Look forward to talking to you another time.
Of course, we'll do this again.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. See you later.
See you, Doug.
Where are you guys? I'm going home.
Excuse me, I want to drive. Get off my bridge.
That's it, I'm getting out of here.